I did have a band. It was a 3-piece band, and I think we had gigs for like 3 months, and then it disbanded.
Oh wow!
And it was I look back and I laugh because my drummer was blind.
Really?
And I would go pick him up and load all his gear in my car, and then take him to the gig, and then I'd put his stool where it was, and I'd take him over there, and then he would just use his sticks to line everything up and everything. And he was really smooth because he'd always get some pretty girl to show him where the men's room was, and then he'd hold their arm, so he could follow them.
Right.
So I often gave his equipment rides home, but not him. He'd get a ride home with someone else. And so, but he was a jazz drummer, and then my bass player was a guitar player from another band. So I don't know that we were any good, but it was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I guess you don't need to see to play music or the game.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's he in some ways it worked to his advantage. He had figured out how to make good use of it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I travel to Denver a few times each year, but this time was a little different. I reached out to a friend of mine in Fort Collins. She's an artist, and her husband is a musician. Allison was out of town, but her husband was more than happy to ride with me. Lyd Dixon grew up in Colorado as Ben Dickinson. He loves to write songs, and he's been doing it a long time. He has an affinity for crafting dark portrayals of lost souls and rambling spirits. If you're a part of the Fort Collins music scene, then you'll know Lyd, named because of the super cool hats he wears. With a hair a little bit like Johnny Depp and a speaking voice a little bit like George Strait, he's one cool cat and just as tough to put your finger on a definition of him. When asked, "Who is Lyd Dixon?" he replied, "That's a good question. If you figure it out, please let me know." Whoever he is, he's released a couple of albums and is working on his third, expected to release soon. I'm taking a ride north out of Denver to Fort Collins. We're going to load Ben into the car along with his guitar and harmonica and head even further north through the rolling countryside of northern Colorado as we listen to him play and weave his singer-songwriter tales. You know how I like to drive musicians around while they do their thing. I have a really good vibe on this one. Want to see how it goes?
Come along for the ride in Ken's Think Tank.
Ken's Think Tank is made possible by the following sponsors. Do you need HVAC services or a tankless water heater? Four States Equipment. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four States Equipment has it all. Parts and equipment, sales and service, from restaurant equipment to heating and air conditioning. Visit fourstatesequipment.com. Ken Collins Marketing. It's simple. We help small business owners get more customers. Show our sponsors some love. If you're watching the video, show us some love by smashing the like button. And remember, the views and opinions expressed on Ken's Think Tank do not necessarily reflect those of our sponsors.
My last name is Dickinson.
Dickinson, Ben Dickinson.
But, I started playing music a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I just started working, as an adult. And the job that I had, they wanted to own my intellectual property.
Right.
And I kind of wasn't happy about that because I was wanting to write songs and record and release music, and I didn't want them to, because back then, I'm 25, I was going to have a big hit.
Right.
Because, they were like an advocacy group, and they couldn't have employees writing books or articles that would get them in trouble.
Right.
Professionally. So anyway, I recorded under the name Ben Dixon, Dixon.
Okay.
And then when we moved to Fort Collins, I started playing again, because I didn't play for a long time, and meeting a lot of people that were the musicians that are local here, and people were really confused. Wait a minute, your name's Ben Dickinson, or is it Ben Dixon? And I didn't want to just go with Ben Dickinson because I already have this other stuff recorded.
Sure.
And so I changed it to Lyd Dixon.
Lyd.
L-I-D.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, if you can tell somebody's background based on how they react to that, like the older hippies are like, "What do you like to smoke a lot of pot?" You know, and I'm like, "No, lid. Like, I wear a lot of hats."
Right.
And young people are just, they know because there's a store called Lids, right, that sells hats.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
been in all the malls for a long time. And so it's kind of funny the way people react. But
I'm digging the hat, man.
yeah. So more and more though, so that's what I'm recording under now and performing under is
Lid Dixon.
Yep, LID and then DIXON.
Right on. So, are you playing on a regular basis somewhere here?
I have been. I have a few like shows that are mine, mostly just because I'm gonna release some new songs in November,
Yeah.
and so I've just kind of been building up for that. But otherwise, I would just play kind of casually. I have some friends that play more regular, and sometimes I play with them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot, and Fort Collins has I like the music scene in Fort Collins. There's a lot of active folks and lots of places to play, and there's lots of open mics that are like good open mics where people come and play their stuff and then hang around and listen to everyone else.
Okay.
The open mics in Fort Collins are pretty good.
Awesome.
And just as a music community, it's strong.
So, what do you think? You want to play a song?
I could do that, yeah.
It's a little bit weird playing in a moving vehicle.
Arkansas, my head hurts. I'd like to stick around and try to make it worse. Well, I got a girl up in Henrietta. Her love is like tornado weather. It's girls like this that keep me trying. She goes off like an air raid siren. Come in clean, leave torn apart. Bad liver, broken heart. A bad liver and a broken heart. A bad liver and a broken heart. Indian summer, Oklahoma sunset. If there's a nicer place, I haven't been there yet. Standing outside of the blue door. Too tired to sleep, I'm too drunk for more. It's nights like this that keep me trying. A woman knows when her man is lying. It's not me, I'm just playing a part. Bad liver, broken heart. A bad liver and a broken heart. A bad liver, a broken heart. I'll get old before I'm good at this. Who's the president? What year is it? Doesn't anyone care about the truth anymore? I guess that's what songs are for. Well, you're the wind and I'm on fire. This line of work, no one retires. Come in clean, leave torn apart. bad liver, broken heart. Bad liver and a broken heart.
Nice.
Thank you.
And that's one of yours?
I have recorded that, but that's not one of mine.
Okay.
That was written by a guy named Scott Nolan from Canada.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. And it's called
Bad Liver, Broken Heart. Yeah,
Right on.
yeah. That is a bit of a unique skill to play in a car, isn't it?
It's a little bit different, man. So are you from Canada?
No. I'm from here.
Okay.
Colorado. I grew
Nice.
up in Winter Park, Colorado.
Okay.
And then I went to school in Boulder. And then I went to school in Kentucky. And then I stayed gone for 20 years or so.
Yeah.
And then moved back in 2014.
Right on.
Yeah.
So when did you start playing?
You know, when I was a kid, my mom made me take piano lessons. And so I knew a little bit about music, but I wanted to play football.
Right.
You know, I wasn't that interested. And then I think for my 21st birthday, I bought a electric guitar and tried to learn and didn't really take off.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Kentucky, I had an acoustic guitar then. And then I started really learning songs and started writing songs. I usually start with lyrics, and I'll have lyrics written fairly complete usually before I start trying to fit music, you know?
Right.
I know some people go the other way around, or it happens at the same time.
Yeah, I guess everybody has their own process, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I usually am doing something like this, driving, and my mind's wandering.
Yeah.
And then a song will come on the radio or something like that already has a cadence to it.
Sure.
And then the words will start forming in my head to that cadence.
Right.
And I've done it enough that then I know to turn the radio off
Yeah.
so that the song doesn't change.
And just keep it moving.
And then just keep it moving. And then, I usually write that down. And then once you kind of have a cadence, the rhymes will flow.
Right.
Depending on, what format you're going for. But yeah, my dad is a songwriter and a performer and a singer. He has a band called Tommy Ho and the Barn Cats.
Really?
But we like the same kind of music. He does Townes Van Zandt and Guy Clark songs and stuff like that.
Okay. That's kind of the wheelhouse that where you
when I was first started doing it, I wanted to be a guy like Lyle Lovett or somebody like that.
Sure.
Like a he's obviously gotten more popular over the years, but back then I don't think he was quite as popular as he was now, but he would make a record, go out and tour, and then go home and make another record, and then go.
Right.
And I thought that would be a good thing. That was kind of what I was interested in doing. So, I grew up here, and I went to Kentucky to school, and then after that I lived in D.C. for a while. Probably the place I lived the longest was Philadelphia.
Oh, nice.
And I lived kind of downtown. Well, I did live downtown. It's called Fishtown.
Okay.
And the one particular last place I lived in was like this little studio above what used to be a car repair shop.
Yeah.
And you could walk out and go around the block, and there were 5 different bar restaurants right there.
Perfect.
And anyway, and so this song is called, I call it the bar song.
Okay.
But it's kind of about spending too much time in one of those places. Found a $50 bill blown up against a fence. No one will miss it like I will. I guess that's the difference. Oh, the sun is gonna shine, and the rain will turn to snow. Oh, meet me around midnight with fresh paint on your toes. Yeah, I go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat. Yeah, I go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat. Well, she smelled like daffodil. She walked like rock and roll. It won't be me, but somebody will take that road and pay that toll. Oh, but the sun still shines, and rain will turn to snow. Meet me tonight around midnight with fresh paint on your toes. Yeah, I go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat. Yeah, I go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat. I keep moving, though I'm tired. These toes, they don't bend so good. This axe is long retired. Don't chop no more wood. But the sun, it still shines. Rain, it turns to snow. Meet me around midnight with fresh paint on your toes. Go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat. Yeah, I go over the hill down 6th Street to rinse and repeat.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I like it, man.
Yeah, nickname for a bar.
How long did you live in Philly?
12 years.
12. Nice.
About. Maybe a little more. 13
Yeah?
maybe. Moved there in 2001, left in the end of 2013. I liked it. It's a cool city, great music scene. So I lived there 12 years, and then I came back, and I was living, outside of Boulder, in Erie. We bought our house in Fort Collins in December of 2020.
Okay.
And we weren't sure where we were going to move. We looked at a lot of different places, but we eventually settled on Fort Collins. And they have, there's tons of breweries. Obviously, probably New Belgium is probably the one that most people would know about, but Odell's and, and Funkworks, and, Stodgy, and Sweetwater is not from Colorado. They're from Atlanta, I think, but they're here now. So there's a lot of, Max Line. It's one of our favorite places to hang out.
Yeah.
Because they always have live music, and the guy does a really nice job. The owner does the sound.
Yeah.
And he's got good taste. He gets all different kinds of bands that come in, but they're all good.
Yeah.
And it's just a nice place to hang out. So I told you I grew up in Winter Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad and mom, and then I have two younger brothers. My dad moved up there for a job, and it snows all the time. It's freezing cold. We lived in this old log cabin that was on this big acreage that a ski area owned, and my dad was helping them develop the ski area.
Okay.
And anyway, so we lived in this log cabin. We didn't get television or radio, and I thought, this sucks. I'd rather be Jimmy Buffett.
Right.
That was what I wanted. And then years later, I did finally get a chance to go to the beach, and I realized, I don't tan, and I don't like to be super hot.
Right. And it causes a problem.
Yeah. And so this was a song that I wrote about that.
Okay.
And it was on my second record that I did called Silk and Cotton. It's on Spotify. So anyway, the song's called Silk and Cotton. Scrape the ice off of the window. I unplug the engine, slip and slide it down the road. Winter lasts forever, it's always so cold. The Beatles killed the trees, we burn like coal. Every chance I get, I go out to the coast, riding on the waves and soaking up the rays. I'm dreaming about that kind of life for when I come of age, but it's Education Corporation cards with my name. Oh, I'm tired of the fantasy, it never takes shape. I'm living in reality, it's give and it's take. I'm dreaming about the silk, but take comfort in the cotton. Oh, the silk and the cotton, giving and a taking. Silk and the cotton, giving and a taking. Silk and the cotton, giving and a taking. Oh, the silk and the cotton. Possibly exist. I thought I'd take a stand without regard for risk. I'm moving and I'm grooving, but I'm kind of at a standstill, mesmerized, blinded, and love sick. So I thought about money, big time fame, notorious obscurity, and hot sex in the rain. Oh, I'm tired of the fantasy, it never takes shape. I'm living in reality, it's give and it's take. I'm dreaming about the silk, but take comfort in the cotton. Well, ask not, want not, just be glad for what you already got. Oh, the silk and the cotton, giving and a taking. Silk and cotton, giving and a taking.
Very cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that. You might edit this part out, but I got that song idea. A friend of mine used to judge how his relationship was going based on whether the laundry was mostly silk panties or mostly cotton panties.
Yeah.
You're like, I think it's getting time to break up. Too much cotton.
Right. Getting a little bit comfortable here. That's funny.
Ken's Think Tank is made possible with help from these fine sponsors: Basin Home Health and Hospice,